Greetings, special people. I welcome each and every one of you to the episode 3 of the Insightful Podcast. My name is Lesego Monto, young entrepreneur, global and international business trainee and rhetorician. In today's episode, my people, we're going to be talking about financial freedom, particularly in the subject of savings. I know that this is a topic that most people are not open to talk about. I know that when you talk of financial freedom, most people would rather choose to tune out. But before you tune out, I want you to listen to what I have to say. I'm not a financial specialist. I'm not a financial guru. I do not know anything, and I really mean it. I know nothing, and I just want us to rub minds in this particular subject matter. So I'll be checking my comment section to see what you people have to say about this. I'm open to learn from you in as much as I will share with you small knowledge that I have in this particular subject matter. As I mentioned earlier, I'm making this episode because it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that your parents pay lots of money. Some you pay huge amounts of money. Some the government pays huge chunks of money to get you educated with the hopes that you will become educated and then you will get yourself a good job that will earn you good living. But when it comes to formal education, it does not prepare people to handle money. And that is why very often you will see people working hard, but it's like they're in a rat race. They're moving in a same cycle, expenses upon expenses. And that is why you find that some people even spend their next salary before they even get paid. And in some cases, some people have accumulated so much debts that they make up stories. They create stories to cover up as to why they cannot pay their debts or rents or any other liabilities that they're supposed to pay whomever that they owe. And the sad thing about this is that we are talking about hardworking people, some of which are very educated, some of which have good paying jobs, but they constantly have no money in their bank accounts. And at the same time, you see people who do not have a formal education. You see people who have not gone to school. You see people who have not accumulated degrees, who are doing well in their businesses, who are having lots of money, who have financial freedom. And that is why in today's episode, I want you to realize that it is possible to walk out of the rat race. It only takes the right principles. It does not really matter whether you are hardworking or not. It does not really matter whether you are young or old. It does not really matter whether you are a woman or a man. It does not really matter whether you are making lots of money or not. All it takes is following the right principles. Because I've seen people who make really good money, but they still struggled with their finances. So unfortunately, not knowing this principle is the reason why some or most of the young people today want to get rich quick. And they just want to hammer. They think it's about getting a lot of money at one time. You just hit once with a hammer and then there's 20 billion, 20 million in your bank account. But all it takes is a principle. Fortunately, even if they hammer, they will not be able to keep the hammer because they don't know how to keep the hammer. This is the reason why we always see celebrities who go bankrupt. Celebrities who were balling yesterday and then the next morning we see them bankrupt. We see them having materials that they had being repossessed from them. That is why we see people all the time who worked so hard, who we thought had figured it all, having that things being repossessed and then they go back to zero as if they had nothing at all. Without wasting any time, in this special episode, I'll be discussing 3 things. And then the first one will be the principle that I just told you about. I'll be talking about why some people do not use it and why you must use it. So having spent a part of my teen years and also early adulthood years as a university student in Botswana, I've seen a situation where most students who are citizens of this country are given or they go in a contract with a government authority that actually finances their university education. And this package or this contract comes with the monthly allowances whereby students are given the monthly allowance. And throughout my years as a university student, I've had people, individuals who would say that it's not that I don't want to save money, it's only that the money that I'm getting is too small. So every time I got people who tell me that, they cannot save money because the money that they get is too little or is very small, I always told them that that's because you do not pay yourself first. And they're like, say what? And I said, yes, you do not pay yourself first. That is why. The same thing applies to people who are working. I've also had the opportunity to work at some point, and I've seen the same thing with people who are working. You will hear people saying the same thing, that I cannot save because the money is too small. And my answer is always the same, that it's because you do not pay yourself first. The first principle simple is to pay yourself first. You gotta learn to pay yourself first. And when I say you gotta learn to pay yourself first, it's because most people do not look at this from this angle. When you look at it from a different perspective, you realize that your spending is actually you paying other people. When you spend in food, you are actually paying the grocery store. When you spend in clothes, you are paying that clothing boutique or clothing store. When you pay for the makeup, you are paying the makeup artist. When you're going to plait your hair to put on that Brazilian hair that costs whatever amount that you buy, you are paying that dealer who is getting money in exchange for that Brazilian hair. What I've realized is that most people forget to pay themselves. They pay everyone else. You pay for those Jordan shoes. You pay for every other fancy thing that you want in your life. You pay for everyone else, but then you forget to pay yourself. That is why it's very important that you pay yourself first. I know that someone is going to come up and ask that, Lesego, are you saying that we should not pay for transport? Are you saying that we should not pay for food? Are you saying that we should not dress up? Are you saying that we should not pay for rent? Are you saying we should not look good? I'm not saying that. You must buy clothes. You must eat. You must pay transport. You must pay your rent. It's a must thing that you must do. But in doing all those things, you must realize that you are paying other people, and don't allow yourself to pay everyone else and forget to pay yourself. That's basically what I'm saying, because when you pay rent, when you pay for your taxi fare, or when you buy food, when you buy new clothes, you are paying everyone else. But in a process, do not forget to pay yourself. So it's very important that you pay yourself, because otherwise you are just working to pay all those other people, but not yourself. What then is the use of going to work if at all you're going to work for everyone else and not yourself? You see what I'm trying to say? Let me talk about why maybe you have not yet decided to pay yourself. Number one, maybe you've not sat down and thought about your worth as a person. Knowing your worth is one of the most crucial things that you need to be a better version of yourself, for you to be able to push yourself forward, for you to be able to be one of those people that will push the human race forward. It is very crucial that you know your worth as a person. Have you ever thought about the degrees, diplomas, the certificates, all sorts of qualifications, all sorts of experiences, all sorts of skill sets that you've acquired over the years because of the work that you've been doing? And some of you had to learn a trade for years. I mean, have you ever thought about what you are worth? What is the value of your time? I want you to listen to me very carefully, because I'm not talking about your salary. And as odd as it might sound, I'm not talking about your salary here, because as for your salary, you do not own your full salary, because you must live life, you must buy things to survive. But from all the salary that you earn, don't you think that you also deserve some payment? I mean, from all those people that you pay with your salary, from all those expenses that you pay with your salary, don't you think that you also deserve some little payment out of that? The bitter truth is that if you spend everything that you earn, if you're going to use your money to pay everyone else except yourself, you'll never have savings, you'll never be able to build wealth. That's the bitter truth. And here's the trick, ladies and gentlemen. You do not have to impress anybody. You do not owe anybody a certain brand of clothes. You do not owe anybody a certain appearance. You do not owe people a certain look that is enhanced by certain accessories, that is enhanced by certain, affiliation with certain brands and so forth. Stop that crap of trying to impress people and stick to the basic needs. If at all you're somebody who wants financial freedom, you gotta cut unnecessary expenses, which is why most people live rich. They want to look rich when in actual fact their bank accounts are on negative. And that's the whole problem with people. People want to look rich when the goal should be to be rich, to be truly rich, to be truly free. Financial freedom is very important than to keep up a certain lifestyle that you cannot even afford. And here's the trick, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole trick starts with being able to realize that you gotta cut unnecessary expenses. You do not need to buy a certain meal that you cannot really afford or that sucks up your finances simply because you want to be seen by people. Sometimes you just need to learn a certain recipe for that meal that you like and try to cook it for yourself at home. Learn the skill, do it yourself. Some things you can DIY. You do not need to buy everything all the time. You do not need to buy that Brazilian. Sometimes you can buy the synthetic ones while you're still building your wealth, because that 200 that you use to buy the fake Brazilian, you can save it, because at the end of the month there's a little bit of interest that will be on top of it as compared to the Brazilian weave that you bought. Some things are just liabilities, and that is why you gotta realize that you need to cut unnecessary expenses. Sometimes for you gentlemen, because you are more safe than the females, instead of taking the combi, instead of taking the bus instead of taking the taxi all the time. You can walk. Walking is a good exercise. If you stay nearby your workplace, you can just walk from your workplace to your home if you stay nearby. If your school and your home are just nearby, you can just walk instead of taking the taxi or the bus all the times. As tight as things may be for you, as long as you are aware, my sister or my brother, of where you are going, it does not really matter the kind of lifestyle that you choose to adopt. All that matters is knowing where you want to be, knowing who you want to become, knowing the destiny that you are headed to, being intentional about your life, the future that you want to build for yourself, because you need to pay yourself somehow from all the hard work that you do. You do not want to be someone who works hard, but you do not harvest anything from the hard work that you put in everything or in whatever work that you do. And this means having the money that you keep untouched. And this means having the money that will not land in your landlord's account, that will not land in some restaurant account, in some other place. Some will ask, how much does one need to save? You save what you think you are worth. Whatever you think you are worth, that's what you save. Because remember, it's all about paying yourself first. So if you think of your hard work, the sleepless nights, the overtime, the weekdays, weekends that you put in working hard, and you think of your worth, your time that you spend in all the hard work that you put in, think of how worth that must be, then that should be what you must save. Because at the end of the day, what you pay yourself is what you think or what you know you are worth. So you deserve a great percentage that you gotta save as a way of paying yourself. And some of you wake up early in the morning, you go to work whether you feel it or not, and you knock out late after everyone else from your workplace because you are a hard worker, but you do not have anything to show for all the years that you've been working. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a habit that you must develop. Learn to pay yourself first, and then you spend whatever that is left. Now, the second reason why you do not know how to pay yourself first is because some of you do not know how to say no to people. You take care of everybody else but yourself. People know that every time or whenever they call you and ask you for money, they're gonna get it. I think it's a good thing that you have a heart for helping people. It's good to help people. Matter of fact, I'm one of those people that believe in helping others. However, you cannot try to be a person who helps everybody else without securing yourself. You cannot help others if you cannot help yourself. So it's a wrong thing to actually be someone who is there for everybody else except yourself. You help yourself to be financially free, and then that's when you can help everyone else. The best way to be a helper is to first help yourself to build wealth. Because once you build wealth, you'll be in a position where you can help more people, as many people as you'd like. Just like we always see the billionaires who always fund great sums of money, who always put them out there as donor funds to sponsor people for education, they sponsor healthcare, they sponsor different areas as a way of helping. So the best way that you can help people or you can help humanity is to first help yourself build wealth, and then after building wealth, that's when you can help everyone else. Because there's no how you can help everybody else when you cannot help yourself at an individual level. And this is what I have to say. Part of the money that you save right now or today is what you will later use to invest with wisdom, of course, in the investments that will make you more money. Those investments could include something as simple as buying a grinding machine, something as simple as buying a taxi that you give to someone who drive it and bring you a certain income of money weekly or daily or monthly, however you choose to do it. So there's so many ways in which you can save your money so that later in life you invest it with wisdom in the kind of investments that will build you more wealth. Alternately, you can buy a house. That's real estate now, that you have people who rent and pay you monthly, and then suddenly you've become a landlord. You see what I'm trying to say? It's very important to have passive income, the kind of income that will accumulate without you necessarily having to be doing any job. While you are asleep, the money is just there entering your account. And this is why you must help yourself while helping everybody else. It's like being on a plane. On a plane, they will tell you put on your old mask first before you even help your child to put on their mask. That's one principle that can be related to this particular aspect. That's because when you put on your own mask first, you'll be able to breathe well, and then in the process you will not only help child, but you will help many other people to put on their mask. So ladies and gentlemen, it's not selfish to pay yourself first, because otherwise you will just be working for all those people that you send your money to. And no offense, if you die, they will continue to survive. So if at all you're to help people, do it in wisdom, because some of you in hard times, you do not have anyone to run to, but other people in that hard times, they always come running to you. And some of you who are staying abroad, who are working abroad, some of your relatives think that you're making lots of money. They think that you are working in money, and they bring all that expenses to you because they think and they believe you are making lots of money. That's because you do not tell them the truth. You do not tell them the truth about your hustling, about all the works that you have to do to make the money that you make. And all you do is to work. You work hard, multiple jobs, only for you to send money every week back home. But you have nothing to show for all the years that you've worked abroad. You have nothing in your bank account to show for all the years that you've been working abroad. The sad thing is that you may be even living in debts. You may be even living in credit, and they don't even know that. That's the reality of things. It's easy to live in debts in America, and people look at you, people look at your Instagram, people look at your profile pictures on Facebook. They think that life is good abroad, when in actual fact you're just struggling, but you do not want to tell people that life is hard that side, and you are constantly paying monthly bills, which is actually not fair to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to pay yourself first, because when you pay yourself first, you'll be able to build passive income, and when you have passive income, you'll be able to help everybody else. You'll be able to have that substantial income that can actually sustain you and everyone else that's related to you, and even those who are not even related to you. The third reason why people do not save money is because of something called peer pressure. People try to keep up with a certain lifestyle. People try to fit into certain groups, their friends, their co-workers, their associates, or people that are in their different environments. They try to keep up with a certain lifestyles of the people that they have around, and that sense of trying to belong is costing them a lot. Just because you started working and your friends are buying cars, you're taking a loan to buy a car. You went to your friend's new house and they've furnished that house a certain way. You are there like, oh, I also need to furnish my house in this way. You want to wear the latest fashion in town. You are the fashionista of your institution. You have all the latest designs in your closet, but your bank account is on negative. Some of you are even competing with people who do not even know that you exist. Some of you are competing with people who are celebrities. You see a celebrity wearing a Gucci outfit, you do not know that they're wearing that because they're in partnership with the label. They did not buy that. And that's what happens with most celebrities. Once you see them wearing, they do not buy those clothes. They do not buy those cars. They do not buy, some of them, those houses that they live on. It's some mortgage deals. They do not own none of those things that you see them flashing around in their Instagram. And you want to keep up with that lifestyle with your small salary. Little did you know, when you see Nasty C wearing a Puma shoes and everything, it's because he has a partnership with Puma. It's not like he buys those clothes. He does not spend a dime, and they take care of what he wears in a public. And you want to compete with someone like that? You need wisdom, my sisters and brothers. You saw Beyonce at the Grammys wearing a certain shoe, and you also want to buy those shoes, but you do not even know her personally. You just know her from the social media side. And remember, the grass is always greener on the other side. You do not even know her bank balance. You do not know her work ethic, and you are there trying to live the life she lives when your work ethic does not even come to 1/4 of the work ethic. You gotta man up and woman up, young people. The first step, you gotta stop rich, because all these celebrities that you see, most of them, they get paid to wear certain brands. The brand that you go and buy, you saw Boy T wearing, the certain brand that you wanna buy because you saw Pel Tusi wearing, those celebrities, they get paid to wear some of these labels, and you are there competing with someone who did not even pay for that, but instead they were paid to wear those clothes. So you need wisdom, because when you are rich, you do not need to prove it. People will know that this person is affluent. The thing with wealth is that when it comes in your life, it screams so loud that everyone else can see that this person is wealthy. You do not have to go to the rooftop and tell the whole world that I'm rich. People can see it when someone is rich. So forget about what everyone else is wearing or driving, and focus on paying yourself first, because if you pay yourself first, like I said, one day you'll be in a position where you are building passive income, the kind of passive income that will make you to be way too rich than some of those people. Invest in yourself. Have the kind of skills, have the kind of knowledge, have the kind of influences, have the drive that will make you to drive anything you can ever imagine. It's not about what you're driving. It's all about what drives you. What drives you can take you to a position where you can drive anything. So ladies and gentlemen, before you buy anything, ask yourself, can I do without this thing? Can I survive without this thing? And if the answer is yes, don't buy it. Cut your expenses. And one day you'll buy what's more than that, because you decide started to pay yourself, and later on in paying yourself, you had saved enough to build or to invest in a kind of investments that will build you passive income. Even for those of you who think just because you're getting a big salary, that means you'll never run out of money. No, you gotta realize that it's not about your ability to make money. What's important is your ability to keep money. Keeping money is what's hard for many people. Making money is easy for many. Many people are making money, but the hard part is keeping the money. The last but not least, or the third reason why you gotta save money is because there's times where you're gonna find yourself in emergencies. It's not a guarantee that everyone will borrow you money just because you're the kind of person who lends everybody money. If you're a parent, you have more reasons to save money because your children are dependent on you. So you cannot afford to live a life where you do not save because your children must eat, your children must wear school uniform. And I want to add a very crucial thing here, which is actually more of a superstition that some people have. Some people believe that when you pay tithes and offerings, automatically you are guaranteed financial freedom. You'll be successful financially, which is actually crap. Paying tithes and offerings is not your way of buying blessings from God. God does not sell finances. This is a wrong mindset of treating God as if God is a broker at Botswana Stock Exchange who, whenever you pay tithes and offerings, it's a guarantee that you're going to be financially affluent. It's a guarantee that you're going to have some dividends coming your way simply because you paid God tithes and offerings. So guys, God is not a broker at Botswana Stock Exchange or Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Just because you pay tithes and offerings is not a guarantee that you're going to be financially free. It's about time you do away with that kind of thinking. That's wrong thinking. When you give tithes and offerings, let it be something that's not attached with a belief that God bless you financially. If at all that was the way in which these finances or financial freedom works like, then we would be getting such testimonies from people like Bill Gates. We'll be getting such testimonies from people like Mr. Warren Buffett. But you realize that these are the richest people in the world. We'll be getting such testimonies from people like Jack Ma, but you never get such testimonies that they paid tithes and offerings and then God blessed them financially. In changing your mindset about such superstitions, about such doctrines, you'll be able to be financially free. And this is why some people give out their entire salary as tithes at church, because they have been programmed to think that just because they give out tithes and offerings, it means that God is actually obligated to bless them financially, which is wrong. God is not a broker at Botswana Stock Exchange who, whenever you put out a certain investment, he put out 100% or 90% times what you had invested. Africans, you are the only people who have this kind of mentality, and it's about time you do away with this. This is not a way of mocking anyone. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that the most crucial thing is for you to pray to God to give you the ability, the wisdom to know how to keep money. Those are the kind of prayers that you should pray. Stop praying that God give you money that you've not worked for. The secret for money is only in how you keep it, how you deal with it. That is why you'll never hear from Bill Gates. That's why you never hear from Warren Buffett. That's why you never hear from Forbes. That's why you not hear from not even a single one of the greatest billionaires that we have. Not even our very own Aliko Dangote. He will not tell you. Not even our own Mr. Satadada. Those people did not pay tithes and offerings at some church for them to be financially free, for them to be where they are today. It was all about in learning these principles of saving and using the savings to invest wisely, and then the investments later on create the passive income. Passive income creates multiple income, and the cycle continues until they have great net worth. It's nothing to do with how much you invest at church as tithes and offerings, because even the tithes and offering concept, how we preach it at churches, we are trying to put it as the law, forgetting that God came with what is called the grace. So the only thing we gotta realize is that, of course, as you give, it shall be given back to you. That's the principle. God will give us for the compassion that we have, that we show to his people by giving out. But God does not bless you for you to always, whenever he blesses you, take it out, pay everyone else and forget to pay yourself. That's not why God blesses you. God blesses you so that you keep it to build more, and then in building more you have passive income that you later on use to bless, to be a blessing actually to humankind, to be a blessing to so many lives, to be a blessing, to be someone who will be able to touch so many people, because you had the wisdom of saving in the beginning, and in your savings you built what allowed you to invest, and in your investments you were able to create or build passive income, which later on led you to be affluent in a manner where you are able to help anyone at any time. And this is the problem with Africans. This is a problem with Botswana. Some Some people, as soon as money enters the account, everyone will know that they have money because they'll be going to every single fancy restaurant. They'll be wearing all sorts of fancy clothes. As soon as the money from the tenders that they won reported, they'll be driving, AMG, just because they want to live this life of hand to mouth. As soon as it reports in account, it goes out to be spent. Remember, pay yourself first. Before you pay Naledi Motors for that AMG, pay yourself first. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I had for you today. But if you're interested in this subject of financial freedom, I advise you that you read a book that's called The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. It's an amazing book. It's a very insightful book in relation to finances. And there's so many other books that most of you read. I always see some of you here when I ask that you recommend books that I should read on finances, on business, and so on. You always recommend books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You always suggest books like, The Millionaire Next Door. So most of you here are informed. Most of you here, you read books. But the hard part with most people is practice, is doing what they learn. Most people are just intrigued. Most people are just hyped by the whole idea of, reading certain books. Enjoy saying that I've read this book, I know this book, but you're not hyped by the whole idea of putting the information, the knowledge that you've gained in those books into practice and living the life that resembles the knowledge that you've encompassed from those books. So, like I said, my name is Lesego Montsho, young entrepreneur, global and international business trainee and rhetorician. This is episode 3 of the Insightful Podcast, Financial Freedom Savings. Peace. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to share this podcast with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.